going on? It's Tachi. This is the Culture Lock, the rundown. We go through a couple of hot topics, and then I get out your head. It's quick and easy. What is it? It's April the 9th. It's a great little, having a great little day. You know, am I having a great day? It doesn't matter. So let's get into the topics. Funny enough, these topics, for the majority of them, they're not from me. They're from the Culture Lock team. They taught me some ideas, things I didn't even know. I didn't even know what was going on. I'm like, okay, that's dope. So we're gonna run through them, and we're gonna be out of here, like I just said. All right. So first up, I think we're gonna start with my goat. My goat, Jay Z. All right. I'm a little, I'm a little shook about the Jay Z thing. I'm gonna tell you why. You know, I be looking around, and Rock Nation, they're kind of like, they're brutal. They're quick with it. You start talking about them or their artists, they're gonna come and get your video. But we're gonna do it anyways, cause we don't care. We just don't care. All right, so the Gothamist put out an article. If you know, the Gothamist is like a local paper in New York City. They put out an article about Jay-Z and Rock Nation and the scholarship that they had for kids that were going to LIU. LIU is Long Island University. They have a college setting, a commuter college setting in Brooklyn. You go there, you go back home, and they have a campus in Long Island. So let me make this quick. So essentially, Jay-Z and Rock Nation, I guess they had this kind of collaboration with LIU, and they created this scholarship program for kids that are getting into music, whether that's on the artist side or the technical side. They had a program, a scholarship for kids. And it's pretty much like the Rock Nation Music School. So the issue comes from that scholarship. Essentially, the article kind of alleging that, Jay-Z may have made a promise that he reneged on.
Inbox.
What's Scott's thoughts?
So the premise of the scholarship was, if you get this scholarship, you're gonna graduate debt free. That's how it was sold. That was the whole rah-rah of it. Like, yeah, we're gonna help these kids out that don't got it. We're gonna give you this scholarship, and you don't have to worry about paying back no money when you graduate. Turns out that hasn't been the case for a few of the students that received the scholarship. So about 50 kids were awarded the Rock Nation scholarship, but through studying and finding out, about a dozen or so of these kids still ended up in debt. They still ended up taking out loans and putting themselves into debt. So the controversy is, was the scholarship a lie? Or did the kids not read the fine print or read what the scholarship actually covered? Who's in the wrong here? Because I looked and I couldn't find anything that quote that they said that you were going to graduate debt free. I couldn't find that. Maybe it exists, but I couldn't find it. Not being biased towards Jay-Z, I promise. I couldn't find it. I looked. But essentially, these kids ended up taking out loans still. And that shouldn't be the case if the scholarship's premise is that you're going to graduate debt free. That sounds like the scholarship is a full ride. But that's not the case. So Rock Nation put out a statement saying that that was never the case, and the scholarship was to cover tuition and tuition only. It was never a full ride. We cover your tuition. That's it. So now it becomes a thing of, did the students not read the fine print, did not read the scholarship and what it covered. Was LIU being a bit nefarious and not really saying what the scholarship was and luring kids in because they're a school and they're a college and you need students. You need students because students bring in money. So these students ended up taking out loans. Now some of these loans seem a bit egregious. Like one student was said to have accumulated $40,000 in loans. That sounds like a choice to me, but I get how that could happen. You think this tuition, you think this college covers everything. You get there, you see that it only covers the tuition. It's only this set amount of money for your tuition. It's probably for your tuition for each and every year, but it doesn't cover anything else. So if you want to live on campus, room and board, it doesn't cover that. You got to pay for that. You got to feed yourself. You got to survive. Buy clothes, just your day-to-day living. So I could get people taking out loans. I don't get $40,000 worth of loans, but I can get a loan because you didn't understand and you didn't know. But also, if you're coming from a place where you are financially weak, you don't got it, your parents don't got it, a loan is probably not the best direction to go. But if you decide to go that way, I don't think you can blame Jay-Z and Rock Nation because of the situation you put yourself in. They did their part. They covered your tuition, according to them. They covered your tuition. So I don't know. LIU came out, and this is where it gets messy. They stated that the language about the scholarship was unclear as to what they were saying and what it actually covered. And of course, Rock Nation is saying the opposite. It was very clear. It was for tuition. Now, I've had a scholarship. I've taken out loans when I was in school. Even if it was unclear, I think it becomes very clear once you get the scholarship and you see the money. It's in your hands. You see what it is. You can put two and two together and go, oh, this is just for this. And then you gotta move accordingly. So I don't know how much you can put on Jay-Z and Rock Nation, aside from trying to sensationalize it or maybe trying to get them to come spin the block and do something more or add. I don't know the goal, but right now it's just a bunch of hand pointing back and forth. Oh, they lied. No, we didn't lie. They lied. The idea was that LIU was luring kids in off the premise of the scholarship without giving them the full details of what it is. And then once you're in it as a kid. Like as a student, come on. You're 18, 19, you don't know what's what. You just know you need money, so you might go and take out loans. But I also know taking out loans is a choice. And you might take out loans for other reasons than what you should be taking out loans for. Moms might need a little bit of help. You might just want to get fly. There's a lot of things that you can be taking out a loan for that you shouldn't be taking out a student loan for. So I'm not going to really give it up and say, oh yeah, Rock Nation and Jay-Z did wrong. Maybe they were a little, overzealous, embellished a little bit for a headline or for whatever reason they did it. But at the end of the day, the scholarship is what it is, and you see what it is when you get it. There was also other issues. The students and the professors were complaining about LIU's music program and the lack of proper equipment. LIU, of course, was like, no. We everything was good, everything was straight, and we just got a new studio. And it's like, well, that's now. I'm sure back then there was probably one good studio, and there was a B and a C studio that were terrible. So you're talking about dozens of kids. They can't all use that one good studio. So you see where the dilemma comes in. So there's lack of preparation, which might mean that LIU wasn't even prepared for what the scholarship was promising. It was promising a music program for kids, and they just wanted the money and didn't actually invest to have the proper infrastructure for the bandwidth for kids they were going to receive into this program. But I don't know. We'll see. Um, Listen, I'm being biased. I'm rocking with Jay Z. He did no wrong. All right, can't knock the hustle. But moving on, something on Twitter's been going super viral. Um, Quinta Brunson, creator of Abbott Elementary, she was on Amy Poehler's podcast, and a clip from that podcast has gone viral. I didn't know about it. I had to see the clip like earlier today. Essentially, Amy's talking to Quinta, and Quinta's like, I don't really know white people. She was like, I know you, Amy. I know Tina Fey. I know white comedians. That's the space she's in. Well, I don't know like other like famous white people. I'm like, who's that? She said like I couldn't tell you who Phil Collins was or who he looked like. And the clip went viral. Um, I'll play the audio for the clip for you so you can have the full context.
That's not okay, Kate.
But can we?
That's not okay,
Are you
Kate.
aware that
Yes,
Bon
I know
Jovi is?
that.
Okay.
I don't know white people. I know you. I know Tina Fey. I know.
That's it.
I know white people in comedy. Okay.
You don't need to know.
You feel me?
You don't need to know
I
Bon
point to the
Jovi.
one black girl. I just like don't know some people. I understand the name Phil Collins. I don't know what Phil Collins looked like. I don't know that he's different from.
Sorry to that man.
That Kiki moment.
Unbelievable.
Was so on point. That is how I move through life. If they're not in comedy, truly,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I actually think that's also a wonderful way, like almost a gentle form of rebellion, which is,
Yes.
I have to say, my generation was told that we had to know a lot of these people.
For sure.
And now we don't really need to know them. It's okay.
It's okay. And also, you were working in pop culture too. I mean, SNL is still essentially working in pop culture. You have to know, I don't have a reason to know who. I'm not crazy. It's crazy to be in a band called John. Is he John Bon Jovi? Is the band See?
She doesn't know.
I couldn't tell, and it's crazy because now.
I'm going to blow your mind even more. His original name.
Come on.
So of course, X, formerly known as Twitter, was up in arms because Quinta is in an interracial, or was in an interracial marriage with a white man. So the comments got spicy, and it's like, really? You don't know white people, but yet you're here married to a white man? I can't say the two things I don't think they intersect. Two things can be true. She can be married to the white guy and still not know white culture like that. I think that's pretty understandable. She married him. She didn't marry the white culture. But you might feel differently. I don't know. But they've recently been divorced. And people were jokingly saying how, okay, now that she's divorced from him, she's integrating but back into black society. But I don't think there's nothing bizarre after watching the clip. It's like she's not into if she doesn't know that type of music like white people and Bon Jovi and Phil Collins and the Beatles and all this shit, because that's not her lane. She doesn't listen to that type of music. She knows what she listens to, and she knows white comedians because she's a comedian. She's in that space. I think that makes sense. I know a lot of white musicians because I'm in that space. I'm a musician. I'm in the music. I get it. If you ask me about white actors, I'm like, oh, that's that guy from that movie. I don't know his name, and I might mix him up with somebody else. But I know, oh, if you show me him, that's the guy. Oh, he was in that movie. I don't think it's that deep. But I don't know. Maybe we'll discuss this further with the whole team, because I would need to hear their thoughts. I don't know. But in other news, Ja Wick, he's back. He's back and he's better. He went from finger guns, now he's lobbing grenades. In a recent game, John Morant was seen ripping the grenade pin out his mouth. This is imaginary. It wasn't a real grenade. And throwing it towards the opposing team's bench and the fans in the stands. And then he covers his ears and boom. And you know what? I like it. I think he found the loophole. You guys said no finger guns. This isn't a finger gun. This is a hand grenade, all right? I like it. I like it. I think John Morant is just I think he's just a super troll. Like he's into that. He's a troll. He's gonna troll. He's gonna keep trolling everybody that's making it a big deal about the finger guns and the pew pews. He's gonna keep on trolling and doing what he does. I'm not mad at it. I like it, and it makes me go. Ja can be the face of the NBA, just as a villain. Why can't a villain be the face of the NBA? It's not like he's a literal, actual villain. It's fun. It's pretend. He's having a great time. Wouldn't it make sense? He could be the face of the NBA as a villain, and you just gotta find his counterpart, the hero. Pick that other hero. It could be Wemby. Wemby could be the good guy face, and Josh the villain face. And now you got two faces. I mean, I think that's good business for the NBA. I think they just think about it. I think it's a good idea. But again, just my thoughts. But that's all I got for you guys. We're done. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you can get all our posts. Remember, it's the Culture Lock, Rundown, Lock in. Not for real, y'all should subscribe though. Like, we got a lot going on. We got this little thing right here, the Rundown. We got the NCW podcast. You guys definitely got to check out. And it's all on our Culture Lock page on YouTube. I'll put the link. Follow our socials, Instagram, TikTok. There'll be a Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. But, lock in. All right, this is just starting, just rolling. Peace.